All right, 5 immediate thoughts on Texans versus Chiefs. We officially know who the Texans will be facing in the second round. Many people surprised that they even got to this point, but not only have they gotten to this point, they're getting quite a lot of respect. It is the Locker Room, number one source for Texans digital content. I'm Landry Locker, number one radio host in Houston, now all digital. Let's get into these 5 immediate thoughts. And D'Amico Ryans is actually going to speak on Monday. I'll be on the scene there, get a pulse of how he's feeling about the Texans heading into this matchup. Second matchup with the Chiefs in somewhat of a short time. Thought one right off the top, and it seems like the national media types are playing this up. I don't know if this is a thing or not. I don't even know if this is a bad thing for Kansas City, but the rust element, is it real? Does it really matter? I saw on Football Night in America during the Bucks Washington game, they were talking about, Kansas City's layoff and they could be rusty because they haven't really had to play much. I don't know. Patrick Mahomes was hurt. Patrick Mahomes is going to be fresh. He needed the rest. He had the quote high ankle sprain, which really wasn't a high ankle sprain. Or else he would have been out for a little bit. He's not that much of a superhuman. One of the best quarterbacks of all time. But damn sure didn't have a high ankle sprain. But the rust element, is that real? Is that a thing? Does it really matter? Are the Texans a good enough team to take advantage of that? That does seem to be one of the main talking points. Me personally, if I'm the Chiefs, I would take my chances with this rust, with a fully healthy, maybe Chris Jones, Patrick Mahomes, all the other guys that are banged up. So whether it's a thing or not, if you gave me the choice to be as rested as the Chiefs are, or having to battle week to week, I would kind of side with the Chiefs. Texans did kind of have the rest in week 18, but I don't really make a ton of this rust thing. Thought two, the Texans front seven versus the Chiefs O-line. I think this is an opportunity. I think the Texans superpower right now is kind of peaking. The front seven. This is the first time they've had a healthy front seven. Christian Harris, we don't know what's going on with him. Not a big snap count on Saturday at NRG. Azeez Al-Shaair, he makes a hell of a difference. Chiefs didn't get to see him before, but he makes a hell of a difference. You have a healthy Fatukasi, a healthy Danico Autry, Will Anderson, Daniil Hunter, arguably the best edge duo in the league. The front seven, the superpower for the Texans, the championship caliber unit. And you also factor in, we're not even getting into the elite corner duo that's developing with the Texans. That is a superpower that the Texans are going to need, because the Kansas City Chiefs have skill position guys that can take advantage of the Texans in the middle of the field and deep. They know a lot about Eric Murray. I got a feeling they're probably going to try to put Eric Murray in coverage situations. But that front seven of the Texans is going to have to get to Patrick Mahomes, and they're going to have to make his life difficult, much like they did with Justin Herbert. Thought three, the Hollywood factor. I've already said this. I don't care what the over-under is on Hollywood Brown yards. I said this before the playoffs. I'm taking the over. I feel like Hollywood Brown, like for all the trade deadline acquisitions and all that, the fact that they have Hollywood Brown is something that they really haven't unveiled. They haven't completely tapped into that. And I think there's probably a chance that Hollywood Brown gets kind of unleashed in the playoffs. You look at the Chiefs skill position guys. It's crazy because they've lost one legitimate game. They weren't really trying to win week 18. I don't even think this team has peaked yet. I don't think they've played their best. Now, they still know how to win, which is the most valuable thing you can have. But as far as just playing at their peak, I don't know that they've done that yet, specifically on offense. And I think having Hollywood Brown, along with Worthy, along with Nuke, along with the ghost of Travis Kelce, Pacheco's healthier now, that's kind of a scary element. But the Hollywood factor is something to really, really keep an eye on. They got a pretty impressive array of skill position guys. And even when they haven't, they've found ways to win. So the Hollywood factor is thought number three that immediately comes into my mind. Thought four, the officiating. Let's just be honest. The Chiefs get the whistle. The Texans, if they rough up Mahomes the way they roughed up Herbert, there's probably going to be a roughing the passer. There's probably going to be slamming him to the ground too hard. The Chiefs get the whistles. It's just the reality of the situation. You can say they've earned it, whatever. They got it the last time they faced the Texans. Texans probably should have taken a 2-possession lead, but the Chiefs got that favorable whistle. Roughing the passer when there wasn't even a pass thrown was actually a fumble. Then you had the illegal contacts. The Chiefs get the whistle. They get the whistle. Their quarterback gets the whistle. So as important as it is to be physical with Patrick Mahomes, are the refs going to allow the Texans to do what they can do and what they need to do? Let's keep an eye on that because they always get the calls. Just the reality of the situation is what it is. They're good, and sometimes, more times than not, they get the favorable whistle. That's just the reality of the situation. Thought 5, I thought this was interesting as we talk about following the money. Thought 5, the betting line is starting out at 8. And that's interesting to me. I don't know if it's an overreaction to what the Texans did to the Chargers. I don't know if it's a lack of respect for Kansas City, but we're talking about a team that is going for 3 straight Super Bowls and a team that a lot of people didn't even think belonged in the playoffs. I heard D'Amico last week say we've basically had to apologize for making the playoffs. Now you're only an 8-point dog, which is interesting. I think the Texans right now, we talk about peaking. Their superpower, their defense is kind of peaking. The Chiefs, are they going to be rusty or not? That's something to keep an eye on. But the 8, I got to think that it goes up. But I'm a big fan of following the money. The 8-point betting line is really, really interesting here. If you put a gun to my head, I'm probably taking the Chiefs to cover. But something about that really, really sticks out when it comes to Texans Chiefs. Again, D'Amico Ryan's going to speak on Monday. I'll be there. I'll be on the scene. I'll be on the scene throughout the week at practice. It is a locker room, #1 source for Texans digital content. Those are my 5 immediate thoughts. We'll expand on those throughout the week. SNL with myself and Cody Stutes. The channel's already at about 2,200 subscribers in about a month's time. It's already the most popular Texans podcast that there is. Type in Stutes Locker, Apple, Spotify, all that. And always remember, when it comes to this Texan stuff, we're all in it together. Did I miss any immediate thoughts? Those are mine. Let me know yours. And always remember, when it comes to this Texan stuff, we're all in it together. Happy divisional round. We didn't even know if this was going to